Hi, guys, and welcome to Reality with T. So, I want to jump right into Ryan and Clara. And I put a note like we need to count how many shores he says in the episode because all you hear him say is sure, sure, okay, okay, like a little parakeet. But anyway, and I what I wanted to talk about was that I feel like Ryan doesn't have much personality. Like he doesn't have a sense of self. He says what people want to hear. Everything is, exactly what he should say in every given situation. He never wants to make anybody upset. He's always the middle of the road type of a person. Um, I was thinking about last episode when Ryan wore the Black Lives Matter shirt. And I feel like he's one of those guys who, I mean, usually these are mixed guys. Like, for example, like Colin Kaepernick, like, he's mixed, but he's like balls to the wall. I'm African American. I'm going to be a civil rights leader. I'm the front of this movement. I'm all for black people. I'm only going to be with girls or women who are all for the movement of black people. And that's great. But Ryan, and to no fault of his own, he was moved to a rural area, all white people around. As you can see, all of his friends are white. And that's who he relates to. That's who he's more comfortable around. Even in the group in Vegas, he gravitated more toward Eric and Jacob than he did to Vince and Chris because that's what he's most comfortable doing. He also asked for a white woman, So I think that that's what he wanted, but he also wants to know that that white woman he is with is for our cause, who is one of those white women that's a woke white woman that is like, I'm more for the cause than some of us black people are. And that's all well and good, but I don't think Clara is that. And I think that's why he puts her on the spot sometime with some of those questions to see like how deep can she go? How does she feel about this? How does she feel about being in an interracial? They really haven't had any of those conversations. You know what I mean? How do you feel about being in an interracial relationship? How do you feel about does your family accept black people? That type of thing. And so when she's put on the spot, it kind of like it jars her. I'm not going to say she's completely shallow, but I just don't think that these issues or issues, the way other people may be treated, the whole thing, I don't think that that's a priority for her. I think that she's just living life. Everything is kind of hunky-dory. She's in a good space. She's trying to find a mate. Social justice issues are just not a priority for her, which is fine, because if we lived in a world where everybody was extremely overly woke, it would be pretty like damn boring and down. So I do like her personality, but I just don't think her and Ryan are going to work because of that. So when he is saying now that I need a deeper, I want trust and commitment, a deeper connection, they haven't gotten there yet. And I don't know that he's going to get there with Clara for what he's looking for. You know what I mean? So we get to this episode and she asked him, I think they gave him the questions again, what would make it easier for you to be intimate with me? And he says trust and commitment. And the thing is that they're not going to get there until they do go deeper. And I think that's why he gets disappointed, because it's like, she's not giving me the deep, she's not giving me what I'm looking for. And so, Clara states, as far as like the whole thing where he's not having sexual intercourse with her, she's kind of like, it's his world and I'm just in it. He gets to decide when and where and how, which sucks because it's turning into a controlling thing. Because remember, before it was watch what you say, because everything has to look perfect on the outside. Watch what you say, watch what you do. We have to be on time. We have to do this the right way. And now he's controlling her needs and her desires and not addressing them. You know what I mean? So, she asked him at one point, like, what's your favorite sexual position? He can't even answer it. He's so uncomfortable. So it's either, I'm thinking like, is he a virgin, or is it because his parents are pastors? And the same thing with Karen, she didn't want to show that part of herself on camera, which I can understand. But then again, don't sign up for the show. But if that is the case, I can understand it. And so he asked her, like, what was the hardest thing you had to get over in your past? And she said her ex's breakup. And the issue is, and this is why it's playing on this relationship for her, is it got so bad they were only having sex like 3 times a year, which makes her in turn feel undesired. So now she's in a situation again where every time we're getting to the point, you stop. So now she again feels undesired. So she keeps chattering, because, you know, Clara can just go on, and you can tell his eyes are glazed over, and he's kind of like, yep, sure. But she keeps going, and, you know, they're playing the music. They're Married at First Sight, the producers, they're playing the music over her, and he's just kind of lost. But my thing is, like, you ask for her, you want her to meet you on this deeper level, you ask these questions, and then when she does, it's kind of like you don't really engage with her. But that's just what I've noticed. So now Dr. Viviana is in the building, right? She's going to everybody's apartment, popping in, and she's asking Ryan, you know, asking them how they're doing. And Ryan says the relationship is very natural, everything is great, blah, blah, blah. Of course, that's what he always says. And Clara says she's sexually frustrated, you know, and you can tell in her face at this point, she's just not herself. There's a sadness there. She's not the same Clara that we saw the first 2 episodes when it was just her and the girls, and she was like wild and carefree. And she has such a likable personality. You can tell she's in some sort of turmoil in this relationship. And so she says basically Ryan is the one who puts the brakes on the sex 100% of the time. He says he needs a foundation set. They're getting there, but he wants it to feel natural and not like they're on a checklist, which I can understand. But at the same time, why do everything else except for that? That's just so strange to me. And because he's stopping the natural buildup. You know what I mean? And so they have come to the conclusion now that for him to have sex, he needs the feelings to be there, the emotions to be there, which he does not have yet. And Clara reveals later to Dr. Viviana that she has never had sex that involved emotions. Sex to her is just a physical act. It is not emotional. It doesn't involve feelings. And she doesn't know if it could ever mean anything like that to her. And I wonder if there's more to that in the background. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't talk about it on camera, but it's just interesting for her to say she's never felt emotions. Sometimes with people who have sexual trauma in the past, they have to cut off emotions with sex in order to survive the situation that they're trying to get through. And that's something that lingers, you know, sometimes for a lifetime. So I just wonder where that came from. And I'm not saying that that is in her past, but it's a possibility. She says what does bother her is it would really hurt her if those feelings and emotions never come for sex that he needs. Basically, what he needs, she doesn't want to feel like she's never able to provide that for him, because then she won't be meeting his needs, and she doesn't want to put him in that situation. So, you know, we'll see where this goes. You guys tell me what you guys think about Ryan and Clara. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next video where I will discuss Vincent and Brianna. Thank you. Bye-bye.